welcome to week 3, stretch and release. We're going to start just by taking our hands onto our belly and start to think about our breathing. So we're just connecting into the breath. We're not doing anything particular with it at the moment. We're just noticing. So we just feel a very gentle rise and fall through the belly, just nice and soft and easy and relaxed. I'm thinking of my posture as well, standing tall, lifting and lengthening up through the crown of the head, but without being tense and rigid. So I relax the shoulders and soften the knees a little bit as well. So from here, I'm just going to let the arms relax down, gently drop the chin towards the chest, and then lift up and lengthen away. So I'm taking a little stretch through the front of the neck here. Dropping down, lifting and lengthening away. I'll just take another couple of head nods here. Nice and gently. From here, we're drawing back, so I draw the head back over the shoulders now, and do a little turn side to side, have a look over, and then just keep going there a couple more times. Okay, so now I'm coming back and I'm coming into center again. I'm taking my ear up towards the ceiling, lengthening down through the shoulder and out through the hand. So I just get a nice little bit of gentle stretch here and then lengthening away. Again, I'm just staying with that nice easy breath and that slightly soft knees position. One more time to either side, and then coming back up nice and tall, standing into a good posture position. I'm taking a breath in now, bringing the arms up and over, round in a nice big circle. Inhale on the way up, and exhale on the way down. Reaching and releasing. One more time through here. I'm going to change direction, but this time as I come up with my arms, they're coming to horizontal position, and then I'm curling through the upper back, turning the backs of my hands together, thumbs down, and then open out. Reach the arms up to complete the circle. Lift again to horizontal, curling forward, opening wide, reaching up to make that circle. A couple more times through that sequence. Lift the arms, curl through the upper spine, open and draw back, and then reach up over the top. One more time through here. Lift, curl, open wide, and then reaching up over the top to finish that circle. Now I'm still circling the same way, but this time I'm coming all the way up to the top, curling through the shoulders, reaching hands to knees. I'm going to think of tucking my tailbone underneath and curling and rounding through the shoulders. Then I start at the tailbone and roll my spine up, circling my arms up and over again. A little bit of a roll down there into that half roll down position, curling my tailbone towards my nose towards my tailbone. I take a couple of breaths there. I roll back up, same thing. So one more time here. I'm going to curl into that position, hold it for a couple of breaths, and then stack and roll the spine up nice and tall. This time as I come to tall, I'm taking the arms away to the side. I'm coming into a nice big side bend, so reaching across and over. So you'll see that I'm sending the hips one way, and I'm allowing the upper body to reach over as far as it feels comfortable. So stretching away, and then stretching away. With the breath, I inhale, and then I exhale. Inhale, and exhale. I'll go a couple more times through there, reaching and breathing. I've still got those slightly soft knees, and I'm just being as relaxed and fluid as I can with that movement. Last one here, and then back up to the top, and allow those arms to release down. Stepping to the top of our mat, so I'm coming into my feet hip width apart position again, standing nice and tall, and making that circle up overhead. This time I'm rolling down, but instead of stopping at the knees, I'm going to reach all the way down to the floor, softening through my knees so that I can easily reach to the floor as I allow my legs to bend, so I'm not straining through the back of the legs or the back here. So soften down into it. I'm going to take my right leg back, so I'm coming into a full lunge position here. Take a breath and focus on dropping the hips down here. So I'm getting a nice stretch through the front of the hip and then maybe even a little bit through the back of the hips there too. Take another couple of breaths in this position and then gently lower that knee down towards the floor so it makes a bit of a deeper stretch through the front of that hip. And then you're either going to stay here or come up so that your weight is a little bit more over the hip and we're there. And again, I'm just staying for a couple of breaths. So that's just deepening into that front of hip stretch. Now I'm going to take the hands down to either side here, pushing back through the hips so I get a nice little stretch through the back of the leg here. I haven't got a super straight knee here, so I don't want to lock. So you see how the tension goes into the leg there when I lock the knee. I'm just going to soften and lengthen the tailbone away. And again, I stay for a couple of breaths through there. Okay, I'm going to come back into that forward lunge position, place the hands flat down onto the floor. Now this other leg is going to come back to join this one. So sweeping it through, I'm just going to slide back so that I'm on my hands and knees. I'm going to roll into a cat position, so I curl my tailbone towards my nose towards my tailbone, and then I lengthen out and away there. And I'm going to roll up and down a couple of times through here. And then I'm going to settle into centre, so my back is fairly flat. I'm going to slide my hips and shoulders towards one another and then go the other way. So now this side is lengthening. And I'll do that also a couple of times each way to just encourage and feel that little bit of stretch. And from here, I'm going to tuck my toes underneath, lift my hips up into the air into a downward facing dog. I'm working on pushing my heels towards the floor. They may not necessarily get there, but we just work them as far as they can go. I've got my shoulders pushing back here, so chest towards knees. And then I'm going to stretch one leg more by pedaling the other foot in. Hold for a breath in and out, and then change sides. So this foot is picking up onto the tiptoes while the other foot is coming into that deep calf stretch. And then I'm going to lift up onto toes, press down through those heels one more time. Come forward into my plank position, bend my knees, and leap forward with my left leg. So I'm back in that same side with the right leg behind me, so the same side position. Now from here I'm going to take a twist, so I'll be twisting towards you. So this is my right hand down on the floor, my right leg back, left leg is forward, and left leg is, left arm even is reaching up. So I'm in this nice twist here. And I'm looking up if I can. If not, look forward, straight forward is okay. I'm holding for a couple of breaths. And then that hand is going to reach down. So I'm going to slide this foot in, and with my bottom in the air and slightly soft knees, I'm going to roll all the way up, stacking the spine, and circle those arms up and over. And then we're going to roll down and do that all on the other side. So I'm curling through the spine, I'm coming down really softly, so there's no like strain to the back or the legs here as I come into this position. So it's all going to be through the left side now. So hands go down, left leg is going back, so I'm into that long lunge position through there, and I'm going to hold it here first for a couple of breaths. So you'll see my knee is bending slightly, but it's not on the floor yet, and I'm dropping down through these hips to try and open up the front here. So I've done a couple of breaths there, and then I'll slowly take the knee to the floor there. Now again, we had the option, so you can either stay here in this position, so if that's already stretching quite a lot, that might be enough, or you may be able to come up, and that will make a bit of a deeper position, but like I say, I'll have to just see how that feels. So I'm going to stay for a couple of breaths. Oh, I could do it on the other side, but it's a bit strong on this side for me, so I'm going to support with the hands. Now I'm going to slide that other leg back, so I'm going to take myself away from that hip a little bit, so I'm coming more back into a bent leg position, and then this leg will just slide back through, so I'm back into that all fours. Oh, I forgot to do hamstrings, didn't I? So let's bring that leg forward, and then go there. I knew I was missing something, I couldn't work out how I was already on my all fours position. So hamstrings, yes, I forgot, we did the other side. So we're doing the back of the leg here. So my bottom is going back, and I'm just taking a couple of breaths here. So I'm allowing my tailbone to go backwards, and I'm feeling that stretch down again. As I said on the other side, not locking that leg, so just keep that little bit of softness through there. Okay, now I'm going to even up and come into my all fours position, and then from here I'm rolling. So it's into my cat position, pull the tailbone to the nose, nose to tailbone, then go out the other way, lengthening, hold for a breath or two, and then we go up and down a couple of times each way. So up and down a couple of times each way, but then I'm also going to do some sideways. So I'm sending my hips and ribs towards one another, and then the other side, so you get this nice side body lengthening. From here I'm going to come up, so I'm going to tuck my toes under and push up back into my downward facing dog again. So I'm here, press through those heels, work through those shoulders, going into those foot pedals. So I come up there onto the tiptoes of one leg, so there's more weight on the other leg, pressing that heel towards the floor, really deep calf stretch. Stay there for a couple of breaths, and then transition to the other side, press through the heel and take the pressure off the other leg. A little bit of strength in those shoulders here needed, and then we lift up onto both tiptoes, and one more time we press down through those heels. Okay, so I'm going to come into my plank, I'm going to bend my knees, come back a little bit, and then it's my left leg. Forgot, no, right leg needs to come forward. Sorry, my brain's not working today. Right leg needs to come forward, so I'll be turning away from you when we go into the twist, because I was facing you last time. So we should have right foot forward. So it's my left hand coming down, my right arm coming up. So I'm in this nice big twist here, and I'm just breathing a couple of times. If I can, I'll look up. If that's not comfy for the neck, I'll just look forward, or even down would be fine as well. So I'm just going to hold position there, one more breath, and then release it. I'm going to step in, and one final time I'm going to roll up, stacking the spine. As I come to the top this time, I'm going to take hold of my left hand with my right hand, my left wrist with my right hand, and I'm going to come into a really nice big side bend. So this time it's not so much the hips, it's more keeping the hips in the centre and then working the top or the upper body over to the side. Couple of breaths there, and then change hands. So left hand grabbing right wrist now, again just keeping fairly centre through here, and then getting that upper body so it's really stretching down through here. I'm going to come back to the floor in just a second. So I come back up to the top, so I'm going to circle back around and roll myself back down into that forward fold position that we did before. So coming down through your spine, reaching towards the mat, softening those knees. So we're here now. And now that I'm here, I've come down really comfortably. I'm going to try and just lift my tailbone a little bit, but keep my tummy and my ribs stuck onto my legs here. So bottom in the air, through there, and then I'm just going to step down into an all fours position and coming into a threading needle movement. So this is a nice twist and rotation. So I'm going to start, because I've got my left hand closest to the screen, I'm going to lift my right arm up high, so I'm going away from you to start with. You take a breath there, and then I'm coming through. So now I'm coming towards you, so this elbow is bending. Slide this hand along. I'm going to try to get down onto my shoulder there, so I'm resting on my shoulder, my head is resting, and I'm just coming into that twist position, and I'm breathing a couple of breaths just to allow this stretch to settle in. So we'll feel this in different positions depending on where your tightness is. So for me it tends to be around the shoulders from this side. So I'm going to slowly uncurl from there, place that hand down, pick up towards you guys now, so big stretch up through there, couple of breaths, and then I'm going to come through. So I'll be going away from you of course this time, so I'm going to take that shoulder to the floor, I'm going to slide that hand underneath, so reach as far as you can. Again, just coming into a couple of breaths here to help with that twist. Just noticing where the tension is and trying to soften through the body. Okay, I'm going to unwind from here, stretch the hand slightly further forward, and then I'm either going to be coming here. So this is quite a nice stretch. Make sure you've got a bit of softness in your elbows. I'm dropping the chest down through the shoulders with high hips. Or you may want to come a bit deeper into child's pose. Again, still a bit of softness in the elbows, and we get a nice shoulder stretch. So either of those positions is fine, whatever's more comfortable for the knees. We'll take another couple of breaths here. Okay, so I'm going to bring my hands in by my knees and press down and roll myself up. And from here, I'm going to come down to lay on my back. So come on round. So I'm just going to have my knees bent here, my feet on the floor, and just using my hands for support, nice and gently roll myself down into a nice relaxed laying position. So just really comfortable here. Rest the hands into the belly. And just start to notice your breathing again, like we did at the beginning. Just feel that gentle rise and fall of the belly. So I'm going to step my feet out a little bit wider now. I'm going to take the hands away from my breath focus, but I still want to be aware of breathing, and just let my arms spread away slightly. As I breathe out, I'm rolling my knees over to one side. As I inhale, I'm coming back. And as I exhale, I'm going to the other side. So I've got my head facing towards the screen, but really I'm just going to be looking upwards. You may even want to close your eyes here. Just keep a nice relaxed head and shoulders, and then just ease those knees, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And we'll just take another couple of rolls here. I'm trying to encourage my knee that's turning inwards especially, turning that towards the floor, stretch and loosen out through the front of those hips. They've had a good stretch already. We're just giving them a bit more loosening now. Last one here then, coming back into the centre. I'm going to keep my knees in that knees bent, feet on the floor position. And this time I'm going to lift up, I'm going to do the back legs, that's my right leg. That's going to roll over towards the screen, so towards my left side, and this left hand here is going to support the weight of my leg as it comes over. Now, for more of a stretch, you would straighten out the leg. Again, I'm looking at the screen while I'm talking, but you would need to be turning your head actually the opposite way. So I can straighten out my leg to make it more challenging, or I can keep it bent in to take some of the weight away. I can take the hand away if I'm happy just letting the weight of the leg relax, but it will depend on how your back feels as you go into that twist. Wherever you go to though, once you're here, I'm just going to stay for a couple of breaths. And then I'm going to use the hand. So even if I've taken the hand away, I'll bring it back into place now under the knee. I'll take a breath in, and as I breathe out, I'll push with the hand and I'll draw everything back to centre. So that foot's going to go down now. This leg is going to come up and go to the side. So this hand now is going to catch here and turn into my twist position there. My head is turning, now it is turning towards the screen because I want my head turning the opposite way to the hips. And again, you can stretch that leg out if you want to go a little bit further, if the back is feeling happy. or just stay here in this nice comfortable twist with more of a bent leg. As long as your back is feeling happy, go to where you want to go to. And then again, we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. Okay, so I'm gonna, if I did take the hand away, that hand comes under the knee now to help push me back over. Take a breath in to prepare. And as I breathe out, I'm gonna push with the hand and roll myself back in. Now both legs are coming in this time, into, you'll see how I've just lifted the hips to lengthen through the low back. My knees are coming into the chest here, together or apart, whatever's more comfy, but I'm just holding in fairly tight. And I'm going to circle now. So I'm just having a really nice, gentle massage through the low back. Taking a couple of rolls. And then back round the other way. So just roll it through. So I'm rolling onto the hips. Then they almost lift a little bit as I roll more to the back. So it gives that massage effect to the low back and the hip area. From here, I'm going to release it down. So knees come in one last time, and then the feet will gently come back to the floor. Lengthen the legs away, point the toes and take the arms overhead, stretching away, taking a couple of breaths. Okay. We're also going to flex the feet, so press through the heels and lengthen down through the back of the legs. And again, take a couple of breaths there. And you're feeling that stretch through the back of the leg. I'm going to circle the arms around. And we're going to let the body relax and just bring the hands onto the belly. If the back feels comfortable lying flat out like this, stay here. If not, you may want to bend the knees again. And you could just let your knees drop together even to support each other. I'm just going to take a couple of moments to focus on the breath. And I'm just noticing a gentle rise and fall of my belly as I breathe nice and easily. So just staying with that breath, and just staying with a nice feeling of relaxation for a moment. Just travelling through your body with your mind's eye, checking the toes, feet and ankles. We're not holding any tension anywhere. Everything's feeling nice and soft. Coming up through the legs, leg muscles, knees, hips. Again, just feeling comfortable, soft, no effort. Into the hips, the tummy, the back, travelling up through the spine. Into the shoulders. If you're holding a bit of tension there, you might be doing it without realising. Just really soften those shoulders, let them relax. Hands resting gently. Just being aware of that breath. Fingers are soft, arms are relaxed. Even up into the neck, the head, and the jaw. Again, an area where we don't always notice tension. Just soften through the jaw. And just breathe nice and easily. From here, we're going to deepen our breathing a little bit to re-energize ourselves. So we inhale now, we fill up the belly and the ribs with as much breath as we can. Breathing out, really letting that breath go. We'll go one more time. Big deep breath in, nice releasing breath out. From here, I'm going to gently roll myself over onto my side. So I'm going to turn through here, doesn't matter which side, but just turn and then come into a little nice comfortable sitting position. So that might be cross-legged for you, it could be feet together, or it could just be legs nice and relaxed here. We're going to take a bit of shoulder stretch, so hands come together, dropping the chin slightly, those shoulders a little bit of a nice release there. As we take a couple of breaths, feel those shoulder blades opening away. And then release, sitting nice and tall. We're going to take this arm over, really lengthening. Make sure this hip stays on the floor. Again, we'll take a couple of breaths in that position. take it over to the other side. So place the hand down, reach the arm up and over, take a couple of breaths here. Just feel that really nice stretch all the way down to the side of the body. One more breath. And then coming back to centre and just giving the shoulders one nice last little wriggle and roll, and maybe even a little shake out for the legs too. Well done everyone, really good work, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on Monday morning.